California energy regulators may be leaning in favor of giving ratepayers some financial relief for the shuttered San Onofre nuclear power plant. Two administrative law judges proposed this week that customers should receive a $94 million refund for costs associated with running the plant last year. Martha Sullivan is with the grassroots group called Coalition to Decommission San Onofre. She joins me now to talk about the proposal. Martha, how do you view this proposal by these administrative law judges?
You know, it has good news and it has bad news for consumers. The good news is that the administrative law judges who've heard the evidence in this investigation into the outage have sent a very clear message that Edison can't just take ratepayers for granted and that ratepayers are on the hook for anything that Edison does. They've concluded that Edison didn't act reasonably and have tried to saddle the ratepayers with far too many costs. The bad news is that it's only $94 million that the judges are proposing in refunds in this first phase. We haven't done our detailed analysis yet. We think it should be more in this first phase. I do want to emphasize that this decision defers to phase 3, $122 million in cost, and also the replacement power costs. So those decisions still are to come in phase 3, along with some other big decisions in phase 2 and phase 3.
Okay, now I should say we asked representatives from both San Diego Gas and Electric, which owns 20% of the plant, and Southern California Edison to come on the program. They declined. But in a written statement, Edison said the proposed decision's refund is based on a finding that SCE did not adequately consider putting San Onofre's Unit 2 in preservation mode after May 2012 and laying off employees then. SCE's comments, which will be filed in 20 days, will address why these conclusions are not supported by the record. How likely is it that the full Public Utilities Commission will stand by the administrative law judge's recommendations and not be swayed by Edison's forthcoming arguments?
That's really the $64,000 question, or in this case, the $94 million question. That's why it's going to be really essential for the public to make its views known over the next month. It's been put on the Commission's agenda for December 19th. There's 20 days to comment on this proposed decision. Only the parties can comment on the proposed decision. We're going to comment on it. But we're also going to be doing something that we do very well, which is to mobilize public opinion, like we did at the October 1st public hearing here in San Diego on these costs. And we're going to be asking our supporters to remind the Commission, stop the San Onofre bailout, and that the ratepayers need the Commissioner's help more than this multi-mega million dollar corporation.
And the larger fight on this issue for customers is far from over.
Exactly.
Edison continues to push for customers to help cover the multi-billion-dollar tab on the shutdown costs for San Onofre nuclear power plant. What's the status of that request?
Well, actually, we have briefs due in phase 2 tomorrow at the Commission. And my colleague Ray Lutz is working on our brief. And that is that's talking about billions of dollars of sunk cost in the plant that Edison and SDG&E still want the ratepayers to cover, regardless of the fact that because of Edison's really recklessness and their single-minded focus on their own profit, they basically prematurely shut this plant down. And they're trying to saddle the ratepayers with the consequences of their action.
Now, in related news today, very quickly, Senator Barbara Boxer today accused the Nuclear Regulatory Commission of not turning over documents, all the documents that she requested on San Onofre. What do you know about this?
Well, it's even worse than that. It's not that they refused to turn over some documents. They're basically saying that from here on out, we're not going to give out any documents. I mean, they have defied her oversight as the chair of the committee that oversees the NRC before, and now they're basically just flat out saying, we're not going to give you anything. And this is the NRC and the nuclear industry's safety culture. It's silence. It's the stone wall. It's not safety culture. It's their own preservation and supporting the nuclear industry.
And we've got to close it there. Martha Sullivan, thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you.